Namaskar, Kurunjeri. I welcome you to Khonthang Discourses, a series of webinars on different aspects of Manipuri dance. These webinars have been organized to celebrate 25 years of Nandanik movement arts. In these webinars, we will discover the wonderful journey of some of the legendary artists of Manipuri dance, the choreographic work that has been done over the years and is still being done now, as well as some of the excellent research work that young researchers are conducting to understand the intricacies of this classical dance style, which is at once the youngest and the oldest classical dance style of India. I hope you will participate in these webinars and support us with your comments and feedback. Thank you. See you in Khonthang Discourses. Welcome to the first session of Khonthang Discourses. I am extremely honored and privileged to present my Guru, Padmashree Srimati Darshana Jhaveri, in this session. While we have a formal profile of hers to present to you, I would like to talk about my personal understanding and experience with this extraordinary artist. I've had the privilege of actually staying in the same house with her, where Guru Bipin Singh, Guru Kalavati Devi, Guru Darshana Jhaveri, and many other dignitaries of Manipuri dance were all staying or visiting, and I've seen the amount of dedication and love and passion that she brings to this dance form. I remember Guruji would wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and Darshana Mashi would wake up then. And after everybody went to sleep, till 12 o'clock at night, she would be sitting and doing her research work while her head would be nodding on the table. So I am extremely grateful for having her as our first guest, and you will understand from the journey she describes what commitment and what passion and what love she has brought to Manipuri dance. Presenting to you Padmashree Guru Darshana Jhaveri.
Kurunjeri, Namaskar. On the first episode of Khonthang Discourses, I'm delighted to introduce our honored guest, an artist exemplar, someone who we had the opportunity of calling our guru, someone who has been mastering new technologies in the lockdown, and someone whose guidance is always a phone call away. Guru Srimati Darshana Jhaveri is a Manipuri dancer, scholar, and teacher. Born to Sri Navneet Lal Jhaveri and Srimati Bimla Jhaveri, she is one of 4 Jhaveri sisters whose name has been associated with the performing arts of Manipur. Darshana ji has dedicated 7 decades of her life in the preservation and perpetuation of the classical dance style of Manipur, which she has mastered under the able guidance of late Oja Bipin Singh. Darshana ji is known to be a technically versatile and immaculate dancer. She has shown her mastery of Tandava, the masculine, and Lasya, the feminine, equally. Through an innate sensitivity, she has shown immense expertise in playing intricate tala or rhythm patterns on the Manipuri drum, poom. Darshana ji, with the Jhaveri sisters and late Oja Bipin Singh, had contributed to the staging of traditional and classical styles of Manipuri dance, without polluting them, its form, its ritual sanctity and spirit. They studied the dances in temples and also as a part of dance curriculum. She continues to perform widely in India, and since 1958, she has performed for audience in over 40 different countries. Darshana ji is the recipient of numerous awards and honors. The most prestigious recognitions are from the Government of India, the Padmashree Award, National Sangeet Natak Academy Award, Gujarat Vishwa Gurjari Award, and most recently the Kalidas Samman from Government of Madhya Pradesh. She has received several honours from various institutions of Manipur for her lifelong dedication to Manipuri dance and dance scholarship. Padmashree Srimati Darshana Jhaveri will be in conversation with the Artistic Director of Nandanik Movement Arts, Srimati Poshali Chatterjee. Please stay with us. Thank you.
So, Darshana Mashi, the next question is that if you can give us some insight into Guruji's process of creation, that how did he compose such beautiful compositions, which are even after 60, 65 years, they are still attracting audiences. So, if you can tell us about that.
Yeah, right. And from the beginning, Guruji had, and we Jhaveri sisters also had that vision of bringing the rich, traditional, classical dance of Manipur in Ras and Sankirtan to the proscenium stage according to the demands of modern theatre. So it was a great struggle, and but Guruji's creative talent, his creative ability, his knowledge of the uh, tradition of dance and music. He himself was a very good singer, musician. He could play very well the harmonium, as well as he used to choreograph. He was a very good drummer, and he had knowledge of Padavali literature. That was very helpful because in those days, of course, traditionally in Ras Leela and everywhere, this Padavali literature having languages of Brajbuli, Brajbhasha, Maithili, then Old Bengali, Sanskrit. So all these are included, are called Padavali language, and written by the mystical poets, devotional poets like Kandidas, Vidyapati, Gyandas, Narottam Das, Govinda Das, Kavi Jaidev. All these were mystic poets. So it was wonderful literature, and that was the base in all the performances traditionally in Manipur. So, and then so whatever he created, he was very particular to have root in the tradition of Ras and Sankirtan. He was so particular. Whatever theme he used to take, first he used to see whether how in Manipur it is done, performed, and how he can bring that particular element, classical element, and he used to develop that. He used to bring out in maximum way the beauty of that particular element in his composition, and his aesthetic sensibility highly developed. So, all these were grouped together in him, and whenever he used to create. So, it was a wonderful experience because mostly all the compositions were done on me, or I was the actually in my presence only, mostly up to 90, you say. So, so that was my really. I feel so fortunate. It was wonderful to work with him, to see his process of creation. Now, I remember in late 60s, he composed one dance drama, Kaitav Mela. So that was then he selected from Vaishnav literature Dvadash Vesh. They have described Dvadash Vesh means 12 disguises of Lord Krishna in order to meet Radha. So in that he selected Bajikar Vesh. Bajikar means acrobat, aerialist, to please Radha by dancing in front of her, just to please Radha. So he, of course, the whole dance drama was there with Radha and friends and Krishna and cowherd boys, all that. But for Bajikar, Guruji thought, okay, how to create movements of Bajikar to please Radha. Then he thought of taking inspiration from Pung Cholong. Okay, in Pung Cholong, dance with the drum, they have different brahmaris, the spiral movements like Longul or Khamlai or Baglai or Khongnama, Laiba, and different variations of these brahmaris. So they do it with the drum in Sankirtan, Pung Cholong. But then he composed in dance of Krishna. So that was Guruji's very important, valuable contribution to develop Krishna Tandav, giving the forceful movements as well as variety of movements. All the stylized movements of Pung Cholong or Kartal Cholong, the heaviness of movements. And he so beautifully created movements to gel, to mingle with the Krishna Tandav movements. But it was something wonderful. And especially in this Kaita Milan, when Krishna goes to meet Radha, on the way, of course, he does Cholam movements. That was also very nice, having all the different steps and in Cholong style. And when he goes to when he sees Radha, he does all the, Radha doesn't know that he is Krishna, but he does all these acrobatic movements. And then Radha is pleased, then they meet. So it's a story, long story. So and other dances of Krishna also have Cholong Tandava movements in Krishna's dance. So after this doing in 60s, afterwards in 70s or 80s, he did just taking from this, he composed one item, Bajikar Khel. Theme is the same, but in solo or in group for cowherd boys, and they are doing this Bajikar Khel. In that also, he has beautiful Ailo Shage Bajikar.
We have done many times. That was one of his favorite.
So in that, he utilized different Cholong movements and acrobatic movements also. So that is very popular item. Then there was a, of course, in this Cholong, and he composed this Mridu Uddhata Krishna, and that I just want to point that way, that even in Mridu Uddhata Krishna Nartan, he read in Bhakti Ratnakar that Tandava has two divisions of Prerani and Bahurup. So that is, Prerani is soft and Bahurup is more forceful, energetic. So he got idea. Okay, now I can compose Mridu Uddhata Krishna Nartan. So that is also very nice item. and soft movements of Krishna in one item only, and forceful movement. So
I think
he
that is one of
utilized both.
Guruji's most complicated compositions and most difficult to perform.
झन झन झनन मंदिर बावत झन झन झनन मंदिर बावत मंदिर बावत मंदिर बावत दिगदक दिगदक तक दिग 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 झन झन झा तक झन झि झन झन झा तक झन झि तक झन झि तक झन झि झन झन झनन मंदिर बावत
Then there was one Shadanga Prabandha. Now Prabandha, which is explained in the Shastras, in many Shastras, Sangeet Ratnakar and all the Vaishnava Shastras also, Prabandha. So Prabandha is a musical composition having 6 angas, pada, poem, pata, syllables of the drum, swara, musical notes, tenaka, auspicious words like Divtam, Deretana, or Viruddha, name of the poet, or in place of hero or heroine, and Tala. Tala is a must. So with different combinations, along with Tal, if you combine any one of these 5 elements, it forms Prabandha. And then we have very variety of Prabandhas. So this particular Shadanga Prabandha is Medini Jati Prabandha, having 6 angas. And the speciality of this composition is that all the 6 angas, each is composed in different talas. So like that we have a tal tevda of 7 beats, or tanchip of 4 beats, menkup of 6 beats, and surfak of 10 beats, chautal, tanjao of 12 beats, makaranda of 16 beats. So all these talas in each anga he has utilized. Then one Abhinaya composition he did was Anangaksha. That was on me, I remember. He selected Vidyapati's lyric in my thing, Katahu Madana Tanu Dahashi Hamari. And he found that lyric, and then he, while composing, it's a beautiful concept that Radha is accusing Madana, the god of love, Ananga, that why are you burning me, mistaking me to be Lord Shiva, as if taking revenge, because Shiva had once burned Madana. So it's a beautiful concept. So in that he used this system of akhar, which they have, means one line in order to give emphasis, or it's akhar means repetition. So one line is repeated in different ways that he composed himself. Shankaranoy ami abala nari, Shankaranoy hamanaha shankarahu baranari, hara brahmetu mamohe dahashi hamari. So he had that knack also and that knowledge also, and he could create Padavali. In Padavali language, he could create the lines, lyrics also. And for Radha, he utilized Lasya style, and for Shiva's description, he used Cholong Tandav style. So it's very well balanced along with different rhythm patterns in Tanche as well as Menko. So it's a good variety and beautifully utilizing all the description of Shiva, different description, and the comparison is beautifully done. Yeah, this particular is, if we see that in Shastra, according to Shastra, it is one of the 32 divisions of Vipralamba Shringa, Anangakshar. When we have in Shringar Ras, the basic are Vipralamba and Sambhog. Vipralamba has main 4 divisions, Sambhog has 4 divisions, and each division has again 8, 8, 8, 8. So it's 64 divisions of Shringaras, which is sound. Chaushashti Rasa, they say in Bangla, or Rasa Humphumari in Manipur. And in Sankirtan, they sing this. It's Rasa Humphumari 64, Rasa they say, 64 divisions of Shringar Ras. Huh? That is
the Rasa Fangnaba that is
Rasa
and then Bashak also they sing, right?
That is again Bashak is 64 divisions of Bashak based on Shringaras only. So there are also 8 Ashtanaika, each is again divided into 64. But these are traditionally done in Manipur. In Bashak Fangnaba in Sankirtan, Bashak and Naikas in Sankirtan, and in Bashak performance, where 2 groups of women, they compete with each other singing different Naika Vedas. So that is traditionally done there.
빨라 여롭게 민치들어가 라이슈 했구나 마삭 사자신 그리 옷감 타자라 비브로가 타자라는 타원 자우시 श्री कृष्ण ले यंत्र इबीरे मक्कुन मकरो हद खायर में एक ही
But Guruji then selected this in Naika Vedas also. He composed item called Abhisarika Naika or Utkanthita Naika or Khandita Naika. Like that, he composed each Naika. And even in this Shringaras also, he composed Sakshat Darshan. Or even Purva Rag. In Purva Rag, that is the main division, he composed one dance drama on Purva Rag, utilizing different 8 divisions of Purva Rag. So it's always when the root is in. I just want to emphasize that whatever Guruji did had root in the tradition. So it was not done, it is done in Manipur now also. But for this stage, he had to bring, keeping the demands of the, now in Manipur, in the temple courtyard, the choreography is circular. And here you have to dance on a proscenium stage. Then the duration is for it 6 to 8 hours, and here you have to bring everything in 2 hours. Then each item, each composition should be that powerful, that it should have that ability to bring out that rasanubhava through your composition and through dance. So that is also. And the presentation, there in Ras Leela you have repetition of movements or slow movements, it goes on. And but here you have to bring all the movements, composite variety of movements, or slick. This presentation should be slick and composite. So and the audience also, there the audience is devotees. So that of course artistic level they also see and they also enjoy, but that devotion is there. And here in the theater, the audience, they want that excellence, artistic excellence of a dancer. And even the composition, it should have that power and that energy and that impressiveness.
Yeah.
So when all these demands are so much, so it was a great struggle for us to bring this, to do this work, to bring from temple to the theater. So it's really not easy thing, and that way we were, and Guruji was very particular, and he wanted that in Manipur also, it should be accepted. They should understand and value his work, which Nilkant Singh or Damodar Singh, they used to really appreciate and value his work.
Since you were talking about the way he composed and the richness, I remember how much time used to go behind, just maybe one movement. Whole day will go and then he'll come back and again he will say, no, I'm not happy, and he'll change it. So each and everything.
That was really challenge for me while he was composing. He used to compose, Khonthang Discourses on Tal Tebra. It was composed on me in Manipur. And I really remember how when he composed the rhythm patterns, when a competition of Krishna and Radha while dancing on Tal Tebra. And at a time, that competition in one rhythm pattern, he used to compose first bowls, then dance on it, movements, and immediately composing bowl. I had to be so sharp and quick and alert. Whatever he says, I had to write that, because he used to forget after composing. Then he will ask me, what was it? What was he to say? And even the dance movements, He will change, of course, but what he had composed, what he had in his mind, at that time, I had to do it and remember it. And it was such a experience, because Guruji used to always show me that where to give stress, he used to say. Or even he used to remember his guru. When different gurus he learned from in Kachar also, in Manipur also. So he used to remember their each one's style. Uja Aiga Amudon style or other gurus. So he used to remember while composing how neck and eyes will go according to the stress of the syllables of the drum. That he was very particular, because punglol ki matunda mane punglol ka hisab se according to the stress of the bowls you have to dance, you do the movements. So he was very particular, and that is the uniqueness of his gharana, his composition. And the combination of bowls, the syllables, or the movements, the lasya, tanda, and how beautifully, one after the other, each movement or punglol used to come.
Yes, I also remember the way he would demonstrate also, right? And also, the way he would explain. And later on when we have studied maybe, how dance compositions or choreographies are made, like he always used to say that before you jump, you have to bend down. Then only the jump will actually, it will actually make a bigger impact. So he used to also explain like that to us.
He used to always say, like, which animal? You have to just, what shall I say? Ekdam aisa sankoch. Contract your body. Contract your body and then jump. Like, kick that. Kick that, in that entry.
Entry.
So you have to just first contract your body and then throw like.
Yes,
So
yes, and he would demonstrate all those all the time, the Gati and the Anjan and
Gajagati, Shamu Sajid, Gait of an Elephant. Hausagati, Kanga Sajid, Gate of Swan. Khanjan Gati, Kamrang Chak Sajid, Gate of a Walktail.
also the like you were saying that remembering his gurus, and so I remember that in Bajikar Khel, or even in some of the other compositions like these were Ding, Teinta, and all that, and we would not be able to do. And he used to say at that time, he was quite old. He used to say, "At my age, I'm able to do. You're not able to do. What is this?" So once I told him that, Guruji, when I am your age, maybe I'll be able to do. Now it is not coming from my body. Then he laughed. But really, I can still see it in front of my eyes that how he used to demonstrate. And
Beautifully, he was
you're
to.
also saying when you teach us, even today, you say na that Gita, Gita. Till now also we are learning. But all that has come down from Guruji to you, to us,
Of
and
course, I
hopefully.
remember because how he used to, force us to do that same movement. Hajar bar, karo, karo. Unless it is perfect, he made us do that. It was even in in Swara Prabandha. I won't say immediately, but he had that concept of sequence of Natpala. That in Natpala we have first Mridanga Raga, your Bhanga he chose, and then Ragala, that he chose Bhupali in Rag Bhupali, and then Dhyan Murti on Rag Bhupali, and then description of Lalita invoking Krishna and Radha through her through Swara passages, dancing on Swara passages. And he took that selected Tal Khuji of 16 beats and 7 stresses. That was very rare Tal. But it's beautiful composition. And all the Swara passages, and when he was composing the Swaras, whichever item he used to select first the theme, then the song he used to compose, and then rhythm patterns, and then dance movement. So this was the procedure. And especially in Swara Prabandha, if he sits on harmonium, then spontaneously new passages, Swara passages used to come, and with different melody and different rhythmic variation. And then after composing these swaras, each stanza, the punglol, the bowls merging with according to the swara, and then movements interpreting those swaras in beautiful lasya movements.
It's really such a rich composition from all aspects.
नायकम् पुष्पलता रुरम् समनमुखितं समनमुखितं समुदीक्षमाना प्रयाजमाना कुसुमा शशो भूपालिका सा कथिता ललिता शारुकबन्धे करुणतो गतीयते जाति तालकाला निपुण राधा शमे प्रेम बराइते सुमधुर गाए नाचे एको चेते
Another thing, because you mentioned this, the Kram from the Natpala. Similarly, he was also very keen to create the solo repertoire for Manipuri dance, right? But Manipuri is essentially a group dance, and I remember that when Latasana and we were performing as a duo. He had actually created this Kram from the Raslila. That's what he explained to us, the Raslila Kram, which is similar to the Natpala Kram also. So you start with that the Tintal Macha, where he actually specially composed an item.
Usually rag will come in the beginning, Mrudang rag and Sanchar, and then Tintal should come. Because in Sankirtan also they have 7 steps, they say. So that is, they have to follow. And then in between you can add
any other
raga or any theme or anything. So that way he wanted to do that. Ne? So first raga, then sancha, means in Mangalacharan we have Ragamacha and then Radha Krishna Sanchar. And then if Tintal, then you are saying that Tintal.
Yes, after Tintal we used to do all the other Mandali Badhan Ratani, especially composed for that. After that Rajmel would come in Tanum and Rajmel.
Tanum, that is on Rajmel, Tanum. And then Tanchep Menkuk. This is the main sequence. Then of course in between you can do other items.
And I know that he used to explain to us that, you know, when other dance forms, they, like say Bharatanatyam, they have a kram, like they have a sequence, right? Starting with Alaripu, ending with Tilana, like that. And similarly, he wanted to create for Manipuri, because he said that when you're going and presenting as a solo artist along with other dance styles, you should also have this kind of a sequence which will become like a pattern that everybody should can follow. But based on the traditional.
But personally, it is my opinion that for Manipuri, as it is not narrated narrative dance like other dance style. Here we have Krishna and Radha. So at least minimum two artists should be there, two dancers, one becoming Krishna and other Radha, and to give variety also, and the dance form also, Lasya and Tanda, and costume wise also. And otherwise it is difficult because it's so cumbersome about poloi, Radha poloi or Krishna poloi. So if it is a single dancer, solo dancer, and it is practically difficult, don't
Yes,
you
it's
think?
difficult because our
Hmm.
aharya is very important, right? We have to change our costumes.
So that way, otherwise, other styles they have full program in one costume only. They can
Yes,
do.
possible to do it like that.
So that is a practical difficulty in Manipuri.
Yeah. I'll move on to the next question, which is a very interesting part of Guruji's Gharana, which is that Guruji always encouraged or actually insisted that the female students learn to play the pong. And I wanted to know that how this started and how actually the then gurus of Manipur also accepted this and what was their opinion about this particular aspect.
Right. This, of course, in those days when I started learning, and because Guruji basically he was very particular. Okay, you must learn Kung. Actually, it was started on me only in 58. No, but of course, Guru Maitai Tomba Singh, when he came to Bombay in 58, Guruji immediately told me that you learn from him, the basic rules and all that. But he himself, Guruji, believed strongly that dancer or dance student, he or she must know the bowls and how to play drum. Then only you can get that depth and understanding of the bowls while you are dancing, and it helps to do your dance better. That was his main thing for knowledge and for making your dance more meaningful and better. If you know the chanda, then you can do with consciously you can interpret the chanda in your dance movements. So that way he was very particular. So he started, and I don't think at that time gurus they had any objection, and because whenever I used to go to Manipur, there also I used to learn from Birmangalji or Maitai Tomba whenever he used to come to our house. And Birmangalji was in Bombay, so I was continuously learning from him also. And Maitai Tomba's daughter, Kambal Tombi Devi, she was also playing the drum and doing Pung Cholam also. And even our Shanti Bala Guruji's, she was in 60s with me here in Bombay. So she was also learning, of course, she was a very good drum player and dancing with the drum also in 60s, 70s. So, and we also learnt Pung Cholam. I in Manipur only I learned that gurus used to come to our house, Guru Amuyaima Singh and Guru Natik Singh, and they used to teach me drum dance because Guruji really wanted you have to know how you have to learn drumming, drum playing, and drum dance, even kartal dance with the kartal. So it's a basic necessity sort of. it doesn't matter whether you're a girl or a boy, but a dancer or a dancer, I mean, a girl or a boy, as a student, you must learn, know, it will help to
And
our
I
life.
think also because of that, you have learned, and some of us have learned, and it makes it easier for us to understand the bowls, which many people find it very difficult to say the bowls and the
I know.
tala,
Huh.
and really understand the stress in the, what is
You
kicked,
know, you,
what is
you
given.
can you can get that confidence also.
Yes.
Today, I can train any drummer, new drummer, if he comes to play with us, our dance, we can train him. We know all the bowls and how to play the bowls, and we can correct him and we can guide him. So it makes, you as an artist, as a teacher, you become more confident. And it's a knowledge thing. You cannot deny knowledge to anybody. Wherever. Because Guruji then thought of composing one item on Marumana Hanba. It's very easy. I mean, anybody, I mean, they can learn also quickly. So it's just playing on both the sides or one side. And that item on different talas, of course, Dashkosh or Tanchep or Minku, it has become so popular tala on the stage in our programs.
So, Darshana Mashi, this is a personal question that, you have actually dedicated your life to Manipuri dance, and for so many years. So how have you managed to, stay so dedicated and so focused on this? And I think there's a big learning for all of us to take from you. So if you can say a little bit about that.
I also wonder that since childhood, when I was 7 years old, even in the school, uh, always I was given the main role in whatever program they used to do. So that was just natural. Then I was also asked to do that small young Amrapali on the stage in Amrapali dance drama. But it was just, I was not at all serious. It was just coming naturally. And of course, then my sisters started doing. So I was just following them. And it came that so many programs we were doing on this stage. At the same time, we were learning from Guruji. And Guruji, of course, inspired a lot. And he used to encourage so much. So then you start taking interest in that also. So, and you know, usually for every person, that 16 years, 15, 16 years of formative age. In that age, I was, I don't know, fortunate to have two important persons who influenced my whole life. One was, of course, Guruji, and other was my brother-in-law, my eldest sister Naina's husband, Sushil Bhai. He gave me all the guidance and advice and direction and the basic values of life. He strongly believed that if you have any person talent, it is always God gifted, then you should develop it, and with sincerity, with perseverance, with hard work, and you should achieve that perfection in that particular field. Then only you can be, satisfied or happy, or you can contribute to the society. So that was his main, direction. And other side, Guruji, he was, he used to encourage me in every way, in dance, in learning, in doing research, in practicing, learning Shastra, or when you're doing research work. So each and every, it was, you won't believe, from 7 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock in the evening with Guruji, like a Gurukul system. Then doing, when I sitting with the Shastri ji, or studying, or learning dance, or practicing dance, or theory, bowls, what a whole day. Huh? And then after 6, with Sushil Bhai, doing writing, or organizing, or he was training me to manage or plan our tours, in public relation, how to talk, how to meet people, all these other things, huh, related to dance. So I was from the beginning, whole day and night, I was just in this atmosphere of dance and music. You won't believe. They didn't allow, both of them. They were very strict and very strong personalities, both. And they didn't allow me to call anybody, to meet anybody, to go to the parties or cinema, or no other activity, no other than dance. If it is helping you to develop your dance as a performer, or as a scholar, or whatever, then you do it. Then you are allowed to do. Otherwise, not even a phone call you can accept when I'm with him, with Guruji during the day, or other work. So it was, this was very strongly ingrained in my psyche, that throughout all these years, whatever I used to do, I was consciously, it became natural that I have to do only for dance. If it is related to dance, then only I will do it. You won't believe, I have not gone to any holidays. I haven't taken any holiday without dance. On tours I go very enthusiastically and with full my involvement. But without dance, I have never gone any foreign countries. So many, more than 40 tours I have done all over the world. But each tour, not a single tour on holiday. Even if I go for 2 days to any place, I will find out. Or if my sisters are there, she will say, okay, kahan kuch, if you have a demonstration to do, then you do it. You know, it's always that continuous only dance. So I now I personally also feel that if you go deep in any particular field, any field of your work, and if you are so much involved in it, then everything becomes, it's it is superficial. It doesn't affect you, or you don't miss it, or you don't feel like you crave for it. It's not that. It goes away. You don't need. It's all because this has become natural to me. So that's what I really feel. Nowadays, the children, the youngsters, they want to do this, hajar thing. But you have to specialize in one particular field. Then only you will achieve something, and then only you will get that ultimate happiness, that spiritual bliss. And you can contribute also to the society, to the nation. That's what I believe.
No, that is really very insightful. And like you said, that I think you've also mentioned before to me that you don't consider it a sacrifice. For you, this is what life is all about, and this is what is meaningful. But on a more less serious note, I remember my mother telling us a story that once when you were performing in the Filmfare Awards and you had done Krishna's first Abhisar, and you go inside and you were you wanted to have a sip of water, and you didn't have your spectacles, and there was a gentleman sitting over there, and you asked him in a very excited manner that where is my water, and he didn't say anything. But later on, people told you that he was actually Amitabh Bachchan sitting over there, and you did not even recognize Amitabh Bachchan because you were not going to the movies or anything.
Who is Amitabh Bachchan? I know.
So I always remember that story because my mother used to tell us all these stories.
Yes.
That
Holi,
yeah,
I will
Darshana
meet
Bendit
Krishna
Kake.
always in Holi ka Krida. So in between we have to go out. So
Yes. Yeah, and it's very strenuous. The composition there is also extremely strenuous. So that's okay. So Darshana, next question is that Guruji's Gharana. Where do you think? What is the future of it? Because he has created this huge wealth of compositions, but they are also not very easy to perform. So how do you think the dancers who are interested in his Gharanas, how do you think they should approach it, and how should we take it forward?
The young students who are learning, I think if they value and appreciate what Guruji has left behind him, whatever in the form of course, dances of course, or stage compositions, or dance dramas, all these, so much is there. It really, one life is not enough to learn all this, to grasp it, to imbibe the beauty of each and every step or bowls of the composition. Each composition is really unique. It has that permanent value. Look, Kandukhel was composed in 57. Till today, everybody likes to perform, everybody likes to watch. Even Khandita, that was also composed in 57. And different items, they have that so much of power, that energy, that strength. To give you that permanent happiness, that you can just if you perform and create that rasanubhava in the audience, then only that is the purpose of any art form. नया नया करने से कुछ उपयोग नहीं, unless you can create this experience in the onlooker with your perfection of your movements and the strength of the composition. Both are important. And that is there in Guruji's so many compositions. It is very difficult, but beautiful. You have to take out, experience that beauty. And that will come only if the student is serious, that gives her time or energy or to understand it, to know it, to appreciate it. Then really I say that if you will do, you yourself will get that higher joy. And unless the dancer doesn't experience that joy, she cannot create that rasanubhav in the audience. That is a thing. That is the real thing of any art form. And I really wish the students, they will value and understand this composition, try to understand at least, and try to learn, then they will be benefited.
No, absolutely.
So I'm really happy that Kaushali, you are also doing and you are teaching your students. That is really, I really wish and bless you that you will be able to continue Guruji's Gharana.
I think that, I mean, thank you for your blessings. Your blessings are always with us. I know without your blessings, Guruji's blessings, we would not be able to do it. But I strongly feel because, I've seen Guruji's dedication till his last day. He would wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. He would do his studies. He would sit with us for practice, right? And he would never say no to anybody who came, whether it was a student or it was somebody else. I know that there's so many dancers in Calcutta who would just come and he would just talk to them about, the
he
Shastras.
was fond of talking.
And he was very generous with giving. He would never say that, what are you doing for me? And only I will give you. He would just talk and he would give books, everything to people. And I know
we used to get angry. We used to get
angry, but a lot of dancers are there who will acknowledge this. So I really feel that it is our duty to take this forward and not dilute it in any way, and learn it properly in the way that Guruji has taught it to us and the way he envisaged the whole thing. Thank you for that. One last message for young dancers of today, and we'll end with that.
You know, all our classical dance styles are so rich and have got so much of potentiality and strength and spiritual quality, which can really give you that spiritual joy. And to the performer as well as to the onlookers. And the students, I think, should have that strong foundation of the style which they are doing, and knowledge of the tradition. And of course, in Manipuri, in the case of Manipuri dance, the tradition of Manipur and all the historical, geographical, whatever different aspects, they should have knowledge of that. And the gharana which they are following, that is also they should understand and learn the theory, the shastras, the root of the dance, the tradition. That also they should have the literature, the the shastras also in history. And it is difficult for them to give full time, but still, whatever is possible, give maximum time, energy, then that devotion, that sincerity, and that practice. It is very much necessary to achieve perfection, because body is the medium. Dance, in dance, body is the medium. It is so difficult when it demands so much of years of riyaz and practice and hard work. It's like a yogic sadhana. Then only you can get that spiritual joy. That is the ultimate of any art form. If you are in it, if you achieve that perfection, then you or yourself will get that. And I really feel blessed that, and I pray to Govindji for giving me more strength, energy to continue Guruji's legacy and to spread his unparalleled contribution throughout his life. And I hope and bless Paushali into Nandanik. You have already, of course, you are having so many dedicated disciples. I'm so happy, and I really hope and wish that they will also help you to spread or continue Guruji's this unparalleled legacy. Thank you so much. Namaskar.
So yes, with Guruji's blessings, Govindji's blessings, your blessings, Darshana Mashi, I hope we will be able to take this forward. We are trying, but you are an inspiration to all of us, and I'm sure that you will continue to inspire us and teach us and share your knowledge with us. Once again, my deep gratitude and sincere thanks for joining this webinar. I wish we could go on talking. I'm sure there's so much more to talk, but we have to stop now. But we'll continue this conversation. And once again, thanks from Nandanik Movement Arts team to you for being our mentor, guide, guru, and always being there to support us. Thank you so much.
It's a
Thank you.
pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you very much for being with us on this episode of Khonthang Discourses. Good evening.